Chapter 2. In 𝘈𝘃𝘃𝘕's memory, that one moment always held a magical quality. Partly, perhaps, because it really was magical, but mostly because the rest of the evening was so wild. In the next 3 hours, neither peace or magic made an appearance. Louis had stored the house keys neatly away. He was a neat and methodical man. That was 𝘈𝘃𝘃. In a small manila envelope, which he had labeled Ludlow House, keys received June 29. He had put the keys away in the Fairlane's glove compartment. He was absolutely sure of it. Now, they weren't there. While he hunted for them, growing increasingly irritated, Rachel hoisted Gage onto her hip and followed Elaine over to the tree in the field. He was checking under the seats for the 3rd time when his daughter screamed and then began to cry. "Louis!" Rachel called. "She cut herself." Elaine had fallen from the tire swing and hit a rock with her knee. The cut was shallow, but she was screaming like someone had just lost a leg, Lois thought, a bit ungenerously. He glanced at the house across the road, where a light burned in the living room. "All right, Ellie," he said. "That's enough. Those people over there will think someone's being murdered." "But it hurts." God, what I do for book reading. Louis strangled his temper and went silently back to the wagon. The keys were gone, but the first aid kit was still in the glove compartment. He got it and came back. When Ellie saw it, she began to scream louder than ever. "No, not the stingy stuff. I don't want the stingy stuff, Daddy, no." "Elaine, it's just..." Okay, I'm gonna butcher this word, or maybe I'm gonna get it, but we'll figure it out. Okay, I think I got it. "Elaine, it's just 𝘈𝘃𝘃𝘕, and it didn't sting." "Be a big girl," Rachel said. "It's just..." No. "You want to stop that or your ass will sting," Lois said. "She's tired, Lo," Rachel said quietly. "Yeah, I know the feeling. Hold out her leg." Rachel put Gage down and held Elaine's leg, which Louis painted with 𝘈𝘃𝘃𝘕 in spite of her increasingly hysterical wails. "Someone just came out of the porch of that house across the street," Rachel said. She picked Gage up. He had started to crawl away through the grass. "Wonderful," Louis muttered. "Lou, she's..." "Tired, I know." He kept the 𝘈𝘃𝘃𝘕 and looked grimly at his daughter. "There. And it really didn't hurt a bit. Fess up, Ellie." "It does! It does hurt! It hurt!" His hand itched to slap her, and he grabbed his leg hard. "Did you find the keys?" Rachel asked. Not yet, Louis said, snapping the first aid kit closed and getting up. Ow. Gage began to scream. He was not fussing or crying, but really screaming, writhing in Rachel's arms. What's wrong with him? Rachel cried, thrusting him almost blindly at Louis. It was, he supposed, one of the advantages of having married a doctor. You could shove the kid at your husband whenever the kid seemed to be dying. Louis, what's... The baby was grabbing frantically at his neck, screaming loudly. Louis flipped him over and saw an angry white knob raising on the side of Gage's neck, and there was also something on the strap of his jumper, something fuzzy, squirming weakly. Elaine, who had become quieter, began to scream again. Bee! 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 She jumped back, tripped over the same protruding rock on which she had already come a cropper, sat down hard, and began to cry again in mingled pain, surprise, and fear. I'm going crazy, Louis thought wonderingly. Do something, Louis. Can't you do something? Got to get the stinger out. A voice behind them drawled. That's the ticket. Get the stinger out and put some baking soda on it. Bump will go down. But the voice was thick, with down east accent, that got for a moment Louis' tired, confused mind refused to translate the dialect. Got to get stinger out and put some baking soda on it. It'll go down. He turned and saw an old man of perhaps 70, a hale and healthy 70, standing there on the grass. He wore a bibbles over a blue chambray shirt that showed his thickly folded and wrinkled neck. His face was sunburned, and he was smoking an unfiltered cigarette. As Louis looked at him, the old man pinched the cigarette out between his thumb and forefinger and pocketed it neatly. He held out his hands and smiled crookedly, a smile Louis liked at once, and he was not a man who took to people. Not to tell you your business, Doc, he said, and that was how Louis met Judson Crandall, the man who should have been his father.